Phenomenal decision you made today to join us in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics, because Corey Dillon joins us. Corey Dillon is going into the Bengals Ring of Honor. I can't think of a more appropriate guy to go in, because Corey Dillon on the offensive side of things may have been one of the most physical players, if not the most, in Bengals history. Tim Krumrie going in with him on the defensive side of the football, you say the same thing. If not the most physical, certainly one of the most. Both of those guys were phenomenal, and they have legacies. Corey Dillon talks about his game against the Denver Broncos, his game against the Tennessee Titans. Corey Dillon could run you over and run away from you, make you miss and run away from you. He had speed, he had power, he had balance. He never get caught from behind, 225 pounds plus. And he was bringing it. He was finishing runs. He talks about his big games. He talks about his teammates. He talks about coaches that were important to him. Corey Dillon, special player. You're going to like this. Well, what a tremendous decision you made today to join us in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics, because we are in our brand new studio, and we appreciate First Star Logistics for providing that. But we definitely appreciate our special guest for joining us today, because it is none other than number 28 in your program, number 1 in your heart, legendary Corey Dillon. And I mean, this man was a player now. I mean, speed, power, strength, elusiveness, had it all, man. Balance, you name it, Corey Dillon had it. Welcome, my man.
Lap, it's a pleasure being here with you, my man.
I'll tell you, I guess, first and foremost, what was it like getting the call from Mike Brown that you had deservedly, and about time, been included to be a member of the Ring of Honor?
Oh, man, it was one of those moments I've been waiting for, So I said it before, like, I think everybody know the story. I was off to the range to try to, tighten up my game a little bit. I've been slicing them lately. So I was just about to turn off my phone. So I seen a unknown 513 number. I said, man, I know everybody from the 513. So let me make sure,
Yeah.
I don't know this number. Let me just make sure. So listen to the message. It was Mike Brown. Called him back immediately, Called him back ASAP.
Right.
And we had a great conversation, man. And without really, getting into details, it seemed like all that was done in the past just kind of went away. You know what I mean? In one phone call. So I mean, it was a beautiful conversation. I thanked them for, bringing me in, and he thanked me for everything I've done for the organization. So it was one of those moments.
It was an unbelievable situation. You go with the 43rd pick in the second round, first round talent, no question about it. I mean, it's like you are a first round. You're top of the first round talent, and the Bengals get you at number 43. But then, man, did you pay it back with what you did for the football team? I mean, it was like, and now it's like, hey, now everybody, gets to reflect on the legacy of Corey Dillon. It's really a special thing.
Man, it's you know what? Just coming from the second round, hey, everybody knew I had first round talent. You know what I mean? And you know what? I'm kind of glad that happened, though, in honesty, because it gave me a different mindset coming in, and everybody knows, man, when I'm challenged, okay, I'm gonna rise to the challenge and try to do my thing. So it set a different mindset, kept me hungry, ambitious, and locked in on going out there, making a name for myself, and getting wins and being the best player I could be.
We said this many times, or I've said it many times about you and to you, that the unique thing about you is you could make them miss and run away from them, or flat run them over and put waffle belly cleat marks on their chest and run them over and run away. I mean, that was the thing about you, that you were an unbelievable blend of power, speed, and elusiveness. I mean, it was incredible to watch you do your thing.
Man, I like to call it. I had a bag. The youngsters call it a bag nowadays. So I had a variety of tricks up my sleeve when I'm out there. So, and it just depends on the flow of the game with me, man. If it's called for brute strength and running you over for 3/4, well, that's what I'm going to do. If it calls for me dancing around you, I could do that as well. Outrunning you, I could do that too. So it just depended on the flow of the game, man. And I had a variety of things I like to set the defense up with, and you know what? It worked out pretty good.
That's the thing. I don't remember you ever getting caught from behind. You know, it's like, I mean, when you busted it, man, it was gone, man. You were in the end zone. It was incredible.
Well, that's due to 8 and 9 men front all the time. And listen,
yeah,
the whole thing about that is, man, if you make one guy miss, Ace, you off to the races. So
yep.
I prepare myself in practice all the time. Like every time I touch the ball, going to score. So when those moments came, man, I was prepared, man, and for the most part, it worked out pretty good.
I remember being on the field with the Bengals coaching staff, and I remember the defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos was visiting with the guys, and you ran by in pregame warmups, and he's like, "Huh?" I mean, you can feel the earth move. I'm not kidding. It's like a song. I feel the earth move under my feet. And Corey's running, man, and this D coordinator's like, "Dude, I felt the tremble. I felt the earth moving." I'm like, "That's it." That's how powerful he runs. That's how powerful he's taking dirt, man. I mean, it's like this dude is unbelievable. That game, on 10 carries, you had -2 yards.
Right.
Rushes of a yard, no yards, loss of yards. Your other 12 carries, 280 yards, over 23 yards a carry, 23.3 yards per rush on 12 carries, a quarter of a football field every time you ran the ball. And like you said, it was because, I mean, if they guessed right on their 8 or 9 man fronts when they did, or if you did your thing and said, all right, they can only block 7. I got this guy's mine. And you were gone. I mean, it was unbelievable. The number of runs you broke in that football game and the patience you had to have, because 10 of those carries had to be frustrating. Like, oh man, it had to be a crazy game.
Well, hey, I've been seeing that for a while. So, I mean, me and the offensive line, we were prepared for that because that's what we've been getting all year. And we all know, they always tell me, Paul Alexander said, man, you know what? That last guy is you. You got to, that's you one-on-one with him. You make him miss, we in business. So I knew that all the time. And for what the offensive line was facing every week was kind of crazy as well. And they did a hell of a job, man. Them guys up front, man, they executed their assignment to the team, man. And when you just leave me one guy, we one-on-one, it's my job to, do something with the football. And it just turned out to be a beautiful day, man. And like you said, I really didn't understand it until you just broke it down how you broke it down. Like 10 of those carries was negative. Like, and the other 12, 280, man, that's insane.
That's unbelievable.
And then to top it off, that was like the number 2 ranked rush defense in the league. So that's one hell of a day for that offense, man. The whole team, to be exact.
It was incredible. That's at the time set the rushing record against the Tennessee Titans in '97.
Right.
Carried the ball 39 times for 246 yards. 4 touchdowns rushing, still tied for the team record. You averaged over 6 yards a carry in that football game, and smoke them, the Tennessee Titans, 41-14. You broke Jim Brown's rookie rushing record that day. It stood for 40 years. You busted it. What did that feel like when you broke the great Jim Brown's rookie rushing record, man?
Oh, dude, that's hey, man, hey. I was actually asked, like in the press conference after that game, do I think I was better than Jim Brown? And I'm thinking, like, are you out of your mind? Hell no. Like, are you kidding me? Me better than Jim Brown? No way.
Is that your guy? Is that your guy, Corey?
Man, that is my guy to the T, man. So, hey, may he rest in peace, man. I had an opportunity to meet him several occasions, man, and he always was respectful and showed me love, man. That's what I appreciate about him. But there's no way on this green earth that I'm even close to that man right there. Now, I appreciate being mentioned in the same breath with him. I think that's pretty cool. But man, that dude was amazing. That was one hell of a running back.
It was, but man, you've got a lot of the traits, man. I'm telling you. I would put you in that category more than any other category as right. Running back. I mean, Corey, man, you were a beast. There's no other way to put it, man. You were.
Dave, I kind of patted my game after that guy, man. I watched a lot of old film on Jim Brown to be honest with you. So, and we had a similar style, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, here you are. You're going into the Bengals Ring of Honor, and congratulations again on that. 7 years with the Bengals, 3 with the Patriots. In 3 years with the Patriots, you win a Super Bowl. You win Super Bowl 39. You go to your 4th Pro Bowl. You had 3 with the Bengals, 1 with the Patriots, and you make their all-dynasty team. So both NFL franchises that you are a part of, you're receiving unbelievably high, legacy building recognition. I mean, what does that make you feel like?
It makes me feel good, man. It means everything I put into that game, and it doesn't matter like what team. I mean, just overall, all those days where I didn't want to go practice and I did, all those games I fought through the pain, man. It's worth it. You know what I mean? So it means a lot. Like I joke now, like when my knee and my back is jacked up, right? And I'm limping around the house or I'm on the golf course complaining, talking about something's hurting. It's worth it. And the time and effort I put in, dude, I will never forget that. You know what I mean? I will never forget that. Some stuff you wish you could have did different. But I wouldn't trade that for anything. The time and effort I put into the game.
So I can understand why you have some hurts physically.
Right.
11,241 yards rushing, another 1,900 plus receiving, 82 rushing touchdowns, 7 receiving, 13,159 scrimmage yards, 89 touchdowns. And in my mind, if you had a quarterback to go with the receiver group, I mean, you would have had so much more space to work with. There's no telling what your numbers would have been like. Like you're saying, you're going against 8, 9 in the box. Sometimes it looked like 10, for God's sake. It was crazy. And you're racking up those kind of yards. I mean, if you had, like when you went to the Patriots, Tom Brady, it must have been, whew, man, look at the space out here. I mean, do you ever reflect on that and say, you know what, it was just, it's the nature of the beast, but man, if I'd had a little more room to operate, what kind of numbers do you think you could have put up?
Oh man, everybody wonders, in their career, like, what if, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, what if I would have been here, would have been there? But me, I live in the reality of, man, the cards I was dealt with, man, I worked with it. You know what I mean? And the quarterbacks we had in Cincinnati, man, them are my guys, man. We all went to war. So
yep.
I don't knock them whatsoever, man. It was just what it was. You know what I mean? Sure. And at the time, that's all I knew. Like I wasn't even thinking about what if. I'm thinking about, you know what, this is what we have, and let's go out here and try to win this game however we can. So, and to this day, I never looked at it like, if I would been somewhere else, what would my numbers look like? Yeah, probably would be different, but you know what? The whole experience of going through what I went through, got me to this place where I'm at right now. So I wouldn't trade that. teammates I had in Cincinnati, man, we were close, man. It was never like if I had somebody different here, things would be different. You know,
Right.
I never looked at it like that. So, I mean, I got great teammates in Cincinnati. I got great teammates in New England, man. And brother, at this juncture where we at right now, man, we all old. You know what I mean?
Right.
and what I like to do, man, is hey, man, we reminisce on all the positive and good times we used to have. So that means more than if I had this or that. You know what I mean?
Right. I think the defensive coordinator for Denver's last name was Robinson, as I recall. And I asked the Bengals coaches, I said, did you guys communicate after the game? You know, what did he say? And they were like you said, he goes, man, I thought I had a good run defense. I mean, we were pretty good going into the game. He goes, 10 of the snaps out of 22, it was okay. But the 12, oh my gosh. He goes, 12 snaps for 280 yards. He goes, I could, my worst nightmare would not have been 12 rushes for 280 yards. He's like, they said he was like, he couldn't believe it. And it was like, he's like, man, tip my cap to Corey Dillon, man. All the props go to Corey Dillon on that one, boy. You were just, your vision is something that I think people probably didn't recognize as much as they should. You saw that football field, and you saw it clear as day, didn't you?
Right. Absolutely, man. I think a lot of times, man, I'm a pretty good cutback runner, man.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm always scanning the field, and it goes off in, like I said, field, man. If I feel too much pressure at one point, man, I'm looking for another avenue to run down. But that was very rare, man, because you know what? All I used to do is chase Big Will. and then hey, whatever direction Will got him going, I'm gonna go in the opposite direction, man. So it was pretty easy. But man, yeah, I always observed the whole field, every play, and you know what? Sometimes there was pressure, and then I had to make a executive decision and cut back the other way and make something happen.
Yeah, I mean, what was it called? 16 Willie was a big
run.
Hey,
if I'm not mistaken, I think it was called 16 Wheel Chase.
16 Wheel Chase. There you go. And
16 Wheel Chase.
That was the bread and butter. I mean, that was the point of attack. That's where you guys were getting after people there.
Hey, listen, man, that play was. We're calling that every week. Are you kidding me? Absolutely.
Yeah, unbelievable. So, of your 10 years in the NFL, I was just looking at your career stats last night.
Right.
7 times 1,000 yards or more, averaged well over 4 point yards per carry 7 times, and 7 or more touchdowns rushing 7 times. So you talk about consistency of performance in your career. And I guess like availability, all these abilities, availability, durability, accountability, all those kind of abilities, led to that, right? I mean, you answered the bell, man. You were there.
Yeah, man. It was I think it was only 2 seasons I really missed significant time. And I think it was 03 where I tore my groin. I think I missed like 8 games that year. And I think there was another time in 05 where I had a leg injury, man, and I missed about 4 or 5 games there. But for the most part, man, I was healthy, man. I'm fortunate, man. I didn't get out. I got out the game with no real major injury. I'm blessed on that part, man. But dude, I love playing. Sundays was my thing, man. Sundays, that's where I was like, you know what? Monday through Saturday, yeah, whatever. But Sunday, oh man, when I put on those pads, man, it was just something about that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that other thing that people don't realize, because I saw it at practice a lot. You had great hands, man. I mean, you were Major League Baseball drafted. Or you were drafted to play in Major League Baseball.
Right.
You had great hands. You had great eye-hand coordination. All that. I'm thinking, man, get the ball to this man in space. Let him run after the catch here a little bit, and
right.
Some. But I thought that was something that was probably underutilized. How'd you feel about that?
Well, you know what? At the time, man, our offense wasn't like it wasn't designed for me to line up outside or motion out as a receiver, man.
Right.
I could have did that very well, man. I grew up playing positionless football, man. My first experience of football was being a wide receiver,
Really,
quarterback,
wow,
and defensive back. We used to play 2-on-2 football in the streets all day, so there was no running back.
yeah.
So I had to learn to catch, throw, and defend, man. So that was in my DNA as a youngster, man. And if the offense was designed for me to line up as a wide receiver, man, and run routes, I could have did that as well.
I mean, how about you were an All-American at the University of Washington. You played that one season there, and Jimmy Anderson. I remember when the Bengals got you in the second
Right.
round. I remember seeing Jimmy Anderson coming out of that draft room, smiling from ear to ear, and I'm like, Jimmy, what's up? He goes, "We got one, Lap. We got one. I'm telling you, man, we got one." I mean, I'm like, who is it? Corey Dillon, man. He lit it up. He lit it up at Washington. I'm telling you, man, this guy, we got one. I'm like, all right, great, cool. So I went and kind of looked you up, and I'm like, dude, this guy, oof. So how was it? How big an influence was Jimmy Anderson coming out of college for you to the National Football League?
Oh, man. Hey, the funny story is, man, he came and worked me out a couple times, and I'm like, man, this dude is nuts. What's wrong with him? I was like, man, because his energy, man, his energy is just crazy. And I was just
charts.
Like, yeah, man. Like, in my ear, this close. Like, yeah. I'm like, Jim, all right, bro, I got you. But see, the thing about it is, man, that he taught me a lot. And even when he thought I wasn't listening, man, I was listening. So he had a big part to just teach me how to stay professional, and no matter what the outcome of the game, man, you go out there and you be great. Dare to be great, to be honest with you. So he always stayed on me about that, and definitely stayed on me about having good work habits and finishing runs and all the little stuff, man, all the detailed stuff, man, where when you get into a game and that situation presents itself, man, you're prepared. So he always prepared me to be in the best position possible, man. And to this day, man, we still have great conversations, man, about life and staying focused, man, and stuff like that, man. So the coaching ain't stopped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is a great man, good dude, man. So
Yeah.
I learned a lot from him.
Lifelong relationships. That's what the game gives people
That
people
part.
don't understand, man. A lot of it is, I mean, your numbers, your records, but sometimes it's relationships. I mean, meeting a guy like Jim Anderson, meeting teammates that, you have lifelong friendships with and all that stuff. And I remember the other thing Jim Anderson said about you is, and let me tell you something, Lap, this dude is intelligent. I'm talking about overall intelligence, and I'm talking football IQ. This dude is smart. I'm telling you. I'm like, I believe you, Jim. I believe you.
Yeah, I didn't make too many mistakes, man. And I mean, once you give me the playbook, man, I got it.
Yeah.
You ain't got to tell me twice. So
yeah, that's what he said. He goes, if he made a rare mistake, said one time, that was it. Never again. Just one time.
Never.
You have to talk to him about it again.
Yep. And that's what I pride myself on, man. Knowing what to do, like, at all times, knowing what to do, knowing what your teammates are supposed to do. So I was always on top of that, man. And then it makes a lot of sense when you're out there and you know what everybody's supposed to be doing. And then it makes it sometimes it makes it better when you have to ad-lib and do something different out there. You know what I mean? You could see it. And I could read the defense pretty good. I could see them. I could see everything coming.
Yeah.
So it prepared me. It prepared me for the best.
Corey, you mentioned that Jim Anderson was big on helping you finish, teaching you some things about finishing. You had a pretty good idea about how to finish, but in my mind, that was a big part of your game. And I would watch defensive players, and it's like, ooh, they'd get up and be like, not sure I want any more of that. I could see that body language a little bit, their shoulders slump a little bit. Did you see that? Did you see it in their faces or in their bodies at all?
Man, I kind of knew. Like it's universal, man. Like that fourth quarter comes, man. Nobody really want that smoke, man. So and that's when I'm most aggressive in the fourth quarter, man. So I kind of knew that all the time. So over the course of a game, man, I was grimy. I'm gonna grind you down and get you in them deep waters and see what you got. So that was something I love to do, man. And for the most part in them four quarters, man, they didn't want to see me at all.
I mean, you were a good sized running back, big running back that was highly conditioned. I mean, you're talking fourth quarter, you'd have 39 carry game and,
Right.
and have a bunch of carries in that fourth quarter. What was your conditioning like? I mean, what did you do to get yourself in such phenomenal shape and stay there?
Well, my thing was this, man. And in my own mind, it was just me, man. You play like you practice. You know what I mean? So in practice, I was always full go. Every time I touched the ball, trying to score, run to the end zone. They used to get tired of me because they had to hold up other plays because I got to jog it back and get ready for the next play. But I did that all the time. So yeah, man, it was just training my psyche of like every practice is like it's gonna transfer over into the game. So if I have real good practices, I felt really, really good going into the game that week. And so that's what I try to do all the time.
You're going into the Bengals Ring of Honor with Tim Krumrie. In my mind, if not the most physical, one of the most physical defensive players in the history of the team, and you, one of the most, if not the most physical offensive player in the history of the football team. What does it mean to your legacy to go into the Bengals Ring of Honor? And hopefully this is a precursor to getting you in up in Canton, where you belong in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Well, that's the main thing, legacy, man. It's going to be preserved, man. And that's one thing everybody wants to have in their career, man, is being remembered as one of the best. So, dude, it's a big honor, man. I know I went off and won Super Bowls and stuff like that, but at this present moment, man, this is real. This is real big for me. It ranks right up there. I can't put one over the other. That's how I'm excited I am about this situation, man. And hopefully, you know what, it's another approval on a great resume. So hopefully, you know what, the committee consider that there's a lot of great Bengal players, man. And they deserve that nod, man. And just speaking of Tim, man, I had the pleasure, he was the coach. He was the D-line coach when I played there. So great respect, everybody. I mean, every player in that building loved and respect Tim. And I said it a couple of days ago, man. It's a double honor going into the Ring of Honor with him because just some of the time we done shared and we talked more about life than football. So I think at some point, man, when you can identify other alphas, right? And immediately that's what Tim is, man. And the grit. I watched him. I grew up and I watched all you guys, man, growing up. And he's a dog, man. That dude is one hell of a player. But at the end of the day, man, he's a better person, man. So it's gonna be a great ceremony, and just going in with him, man, hey, means a lot. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Well, Corey, your legacy is unbelievable. All dynasty team in New England, Ring of Honor in Cincinnati, well earned, well deserved. You were one hell of a football player, and you're a hell of a human being as well. And we do appreciate you carving time and joining us, my man.
Right. Hey, shouts out to yourself, man. Hey, you on deck, brother. Your time is coming. You know what I mean? to the Trumpies of the world, man, we got to get that guy in as well. Max Matoya, Lamar Parrish, Jim Breach. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, man. And from the bottom of my heart to you fellas, man, I want you guys to have this moment as well. What I'm feeling right now, you guys deserve that too. So I'm pulling for you. I'm always going to advocate for my brothers, man. And guys, hey, we got to get this done soon. Absolutely.
Corey, I appreciate the kind words, man. And I'm just pleased as hell to be on that roll call with all those great names that you mentioned, man. It's just that's an honor in itself right there. But looking forward to seeing you Monday Night Football. It's gonna
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Night. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, my man.
Hey, always good and always fun talking to you, Lap, man. I miss you. I'll see you soon, brother.
Look forward to it. Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.